times that feel like temperature to you could get up to about 108 degrees. So what you need to do is just limit your time outdoors. If you are outdoors for an extended period of time, make sure to take some breaks, find the shade, hydrate properly, wear SPF. Here's the heat advisory again for much of North Texas, but if you happen to be in one of those counties that are not under the heat advisory, it's still going to be plenty hot there. This is our DBU camera. We don't have any clouds in this view. It is gorgeous, and it's also pretty warm right now. We're at 81 in Denton, 81 degrees in Decatur, 79 in Canton, 78 in Athens, and 76 degrees right now in Waxahachie. So it's a warm start. Looking at satellite and radar, we've had a few showers near the Red River. Those have pretty much fallen apart since then. A little bit more cloud cover to the far north and west. We're going to see a little bit more cloud cover, I think, later this afternoon and early evening. But outside of that, starting out mostly sunny, I think at about 1 o'clock, temperatures will already be in the mid 90s. But by 4 o'clock, with the south wind between 5 to 15, temperatures will make it into the upper 90s. We're going to talk about what you can expect for the rest of the weekend and when those rain chances will be moving back in, coming up in just a little bit. Chris? Weather alert day, because it's the day before when, well, the National Weather Service determines if they're going to actually issue another heat advisory. As of right now, though, it looks like tomorrow we may just come under that criteria. So today, that's not the case. I think we could still see that heat index get up to about 108 degrees. That's what it actually feels like to you. So what you need to do is limit your time outdoors. If you have to be outdoors for an extended period of time, make sure to take plenty of breaks, hydrate properly, wear the SPF. Here's the heat advisory. Again, much of North Texas is included, but there are a few of our counties just to the south and west. And if you're not under the heat advisory, technically, it's still going to be hot. This is our WFA Studios Dallas camera. We do have lots of sunshine. It's gorgeous outside. It's nice and warm. This is kind of the dangerous heat and humidity that we are expecting. So the feel like temperature could actually get up to about 105 degrees at its peak later this afternoon. So what you need to do is limit your time outdoors. If you have to be outdoors for an extended period of time, make sure to take plenty of breaks, find the shade, hydrate properly, wear SPF, and of course, don't leave your babies in the back seat. Here's the heat advisory. We're talking about the Metroplex and areas off to the east, but out to the west, even though those counties are not technically under the heat advisory, it's still going to be plenty hot. Right now, we're at 80 degrees in Denton, 78 in Canton, 80 in Fort Worth, and 77 in Granbury. But later this afternoon, temperatures will likely make it into the mid and upper 90s for a lot of us. 97 in Dallas, 96 in McKinney, 96 in Athens, and 93 degrees in Hillsborough. Notice some of our counties just to the south and west, temperatures may be several degrees cooler. There will be a very low coverage of rain and storms in the forecast for just southwest of the Metroplex, I think, later today. So that's why those temperatures should be a little bit cooler. Overnight tonight, we're going to be mostly clear. Temperatures drop down into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, 80 in McKinney, 78 in Greenville, and 79 tomorrow morning in Fort Worth. Satellite and radar very quiet right now. We've got nothing but sunshine. We could, however, see maybe a few more clouds build up later today, and then later this evening, it's trying to show maybe a few isolated showers, but not necessarily in the Metroplex. The ridge of high pressure off to the east, that's going to be making its way west over the next couple of days. So all in all, it looks pretty dry for at least the next few days. By the time, though, we get into Tuesday and into Wednesday, that ridge of high pressure goes all the way back out to around New Mexico. And now that's going to set us up to where we actually have a chance of getting some rain and storms, or at least pieces of disturbances that will be moving in from the northwest. So this is going to be Tuesday, and now this is Wednesday evening, and then once we get into Thursday, I think we do it all over again. So eventually we're going to get into a more active pattern. But the overall coverage right now of rain looks to stay pretty low. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking about a 20% coverage, going down to about a 10% on Thursday, at least for now, but we'll see what it does as we get a little bit closer. Today, though, mostly sunny. It's going to be hot and humid. We're looking at that high of about 97 degrees. Overnight tonight, under mostly clear skies, we're dropping into the upper 70s. We're going to be staying hot for some time. We've got upper 90s again Monday, upper 90s on Tuesday. There's that 20% coverage of rain and storms, another 20% on Wednesday. Temperature slowly going down by about midweek. By Thursday, and humid again today. So we do have a WFA weather alert day, but it's not just for today. It actually goes until 8 o'clock tomorrow, because both days will be hot and humid. We're talking about that feel like temperature getting up to about 105 degrees later this afternoon. So what you need to do is limit your time outdoors. Make sure to take plenty of breaks if you have to be outdoors for a long time, and then hydrate properly, wear SPF. Here's the heat advisory. It is for the Metroplex and areas off to the east, but out to the west where there's not a heat advisory, it will still be hot. Right now, we're already at 80 degrees, and with a dew point in the low 70s, there is a heat index. We're at 80 degrees in Denton, 78 in Canton, 79 in Corsicana, 77 in Granbury. Satellite and radar very quiet. We've got lots of sunshine, and we will continue to see lots of sunshine as we go throughout the day today. But at noon today, the winds could be fairly light. It's going to be out of the south. Temperature of 90 degrees. The wind starts to pick up a little bit more later this afternoon, still out of the south, so becoming a little breezy, mostly sunny, temperature of 94 degrees. At 4 o'clock, still breezy, but now we're talking 97 degrees. The humidity will be pretty high, and we could actually see it feel like 104, 105 degrees later today. Even at 7 o'clock, temperatures only dropping a couple of degrees. So overnight tonight, it's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. Tomorrow, we do it all over again. But eventually in the forecast, there are rain chances. We're going to talk about when the rain will be moving in and how far temperatures will be dropping coming up in just a little bit. Chris? So hot and humid. So we're talking about the feel like temperature getting up to about 105 degrees. So what you need to do is limit your time outdoors. If you have to be outdoors for an extended period of time, make sure to take plenty of breaks. Hydrate properly, wear SPF, and never leave your babies in the back seats. That includes both kids and pets. Now we've got the heat advisory over the Metroplex and off to the east, but out to the west where we don't have a heat advisory. It will still be plenty warm. Right now, this is our Fort Worth camera, and it is gorgeous outside. This is kind of the time of day where you can actually get stuff done outside, maybe some yard work. 80 degrees right now in McKinney, 81 in Greenville, 78 in Waxahachie, 76 right now in Mineral Wells, but later this afternoon, it's going to get very warm. 97 degrees in Dallas, 96 in Denton, 97 in Canton, 96 in Gainesville. Notice just to the south and west, temperatures several degrees cooler because that is where we actually have a chance of maybe seeing an isolated shower or storm later today. But that overall coverage remains very low. I don't have any rain chances in the forecast for the Metroplex. Overnight tonight, we're going to be clear. Temperatures drop into the mid and upper 70s, some low 80s, about 80 degrees in McKinney, 78 in Greenville, and 78 tomorrow morning in Athens. Satellite and radar, it's very quiet right now. I expect to see plenty of sunshine as we go throughout the day today. The ridge of high pressure just off to the east. Notice a couple of storms trying to bubble up to the south and east. I think that could also happen just to the south and west, but again, not in the Metroplex necessarily. Tomorrow, the ridge of high pressure basically overhead. That's going to keep us pretty quiet, also hot and humid. But by the time we get into early next week, that ridge starts to move out to the west. We're going to be set up into more of a northwest flow. So what that means is we're going to have several disturbances moving in from the north and west that will eventually bring some rain and storm chances in here. I think that happens Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. Right now, though, the overall coverage of rain looks to be pretty low, but there are rain chances there. So no rain chances today for the Metroplex, at least today, tomorrow, and Monday. But Tuesday and Wednesday, those rain chances go up, but the coverage remains pretty low. So for today, mostly sunny, hot and humid, a high of 97 degrees. Overnight tonight, mostly clear, warm and muggy, and we're dropping down into the upper 70s. Tomorrow afternoon, we're back to the upper 90s. I think we're going to be back in the upper 90s both Monday and Tuesday. We'll see if the heat advisory gets extended as well. We may even have another WFA weather alert day, but for now, it's just for today and tomorrow. By Tuesday, we've got a northeast wind between 5 to 15, temperatures in the upper 90s with a 20% coverage of rain and storms. If those rain chances go up, especially with the northeast wind, temperatures could come down. I think they do come down, though, by the